did it again in the wild card round, throwing a game-winning touchdown to DJ Moore to knock out the rival Packers. His head coach, Ben Johnson, had a quick exchange afterwards with Matt LaFleur. After that comeback win, Matthew Stafford, meanwhile, also led a game-winning drive last week, finding Colby Parkinson in the final minute to give the Rams a 34-31 win over the Panthers. Stafford tying a career playoff high with 3 touchdown passes. We have both teams covered for you from Chicago. Jeff Darlington has the Rams, and we'll start with Kimberly Martin, who is covering the Bears. Hello, K-Mart.
Hello, Greeny. Well, first off, let me just say, I spoke to a Bears assistant coach who told me last Saturday's weather is like a nice day compared to what we're going to get tonight. So naturally, I went out and bought this hat because the real field temperature for kickoff is going to be -3. But the Bears players I spoke to said they're not even phased. Head coach Ben Johnson hasn't allowed them to practice with heaters all season, so they feel like they are built for this weather. Now, Kyle Manungai, their running back, told me, listen, we live here, we play in this. This is nothing to us, but for them, it's going to be different. So, yeah, I would say advantage us. But here's the thing. The Bears need their rushing attack to get going. It's dipped in recent weeks. So Kyle told me, listen, me and DeAndre Swift, we know we have to set that tone early and often, and the Bears defense knows it has to set the tone early and often against Matthew Stafford. Now, over to Jeff Darlington with the Rams side of things.
Well, Kimberly, some quick housekeeping here. Matt Stafford was dealing with that injured index feeling from last week's game, but he said that he's got no problems with that finger throughout the week, full participant in practice. Now, Sean McVay is meeting with his team right now at the team hotel. McVay told me that his message to the team, well, we are going to empty everything we've got. We are going to come out swinging. He wants a very proactive approach to the start of this game. You talked about that bad blood between Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson. Here's some fun stuff for you, Greeny. We know Ben Johnson now up against McVay, Matt LaFleur's best friend. Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator of the Rams, on the Rams as well. I tried to get some trash talk out of Sean McVay. He wasn't willing to go too far, but he did say this: what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Greeny?
I don't think Rex Ryan needs that explained to him at all. Jeff, thank you very much. A little bad blood between the coaches, healthy for a rivalry, right?
Oh, without question. And you know what? Ben Johnson sitting back. If they're worried about me, I got them right where I want them.
Fair enough. Let's make some picks here. Let's do our first picks of the night. It's the Rams at the Bears. Again, the winner goes to Seattle for the NFC Championship game. Who do we like, Rex?
Do you believe what I just said?
I do.
I don't. I'm going to take the Rams.
That was a good one there. Just listening to Kimberly Martin talking about the weather report, I just think what she said, we live here, we play here, we practice here. Our coach did not let us use heat. I've been there before with Dennis Green. Give me the Chicago Bears, man.
I do think the weather will be a bit of an equalizer in this game. However, this season in general in the whole league has been a renaissance for NFL defenses, right? And of all the teams left, the Bears have the weakest defense, right? And that's by a lot. I think the Rams, Stafford has played in this division. He played in the NFC North for a long time. I don't think Soldier Field in the cold would be too much for him. I'd like them getting the win in this game.
Man, I think Soldier Field in the cold is a major factor, just like it's going to be here today. I mean, are the Rams going to come out scoring? Absolutely. I think so. The way that Chicago has won is like, how are they continuing to do this? Sometimes destiny's on a team's side. I think it's another comeback in the fourth quarter by the Chicago Bears, 27-24 late.
All right, I went 27-26. Same exact thinking. Sometimes you don't find the year finds you. This is Chicago's year. I think the Bears make this march all the way to Seattle. Now we will add to that for flavor our touchdown targets, which we do every single week on our show. We're going to pick out someone for you by DraftKings Sportsbook who we think would be a good prop and make a touchdown today. Rex, who's getting in the paint?
Well, we showed the highlight game winner last week, Colby Parkinson. He's had 9 touchdowns this season. The tight end for the Rams, he's going to get in the end zone.
Well, you talking about what we showed. Did you see DJ Moore go up the left sideline? Well, that's going to be my pick. He got in there last week. Forget your Parkinson. DJ Moore. And speaking of the man DJ Moore right here, one thing I said last week about Roma Duze coming back last week being effective in the red zone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they got a guy like DJ Moore. 2 similar players, but this man got in last week. He'll get in this week. That's my pick, Greeny.
Alex.
I think there's got a chance to be a lot of touchdowns in this game tonight, despite the weather. But for me, I like the Rams getting in the end zone. And if they have one player that was built to play in sub-zero temps, it is Puka Nacua.
You think so?
Right? This guy is a butter. He is a tough football player. He got in the end zone twice last week. I like him getting in this week.
Let me go to one of the youngsters in this game, Colston Loveland, tight end for the Chicago Bears. He had a big game last week, but I particularly love how he's starting to learn his quarterback. When he starts to scramble, what he's looking for, they're getting on the same page. In the end zone, tight end Colston Loveland.
All right, and I'm going to summon what I did a week ago. I have a 25-year-old daughter. She's a Swiftie, and tonight so am I. DeAndre Swift got in the end zone for us last week.
Do it.
We'll see if he can do it again for Chicago tonight.
6 on the road in the playoffs all time. They broke through in Pittsburgh. 0-6 in the divisional round, looking for a breakthrough today here in New England. If they're able to get it, it might well be powered by the defense. And speaking of power, Danielle Hunter is every bit of that. You put in context what a couple of defensive touchdowns and fewer than 200 yards allowed, which is what they did in Pittsburgh the other night. 1,300 teams have appeared in a game in NFL postseason history. Two scored multiple defensive touchdowns while holding the opponent to less than 200 yards. The Texans last week and the Cleveland Browns, that was in 1948. And Will Anderson was kind enough to visit with me on SportsCenter last week and kind enough to visit with Michelle Beisner-Buck with one of his teammates recently. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Good afternoon, Scott. So what Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. did last week against Aaron Rodgers is what they've been doing all season long, sacking, disrupting, and applying pressure to opposing quarterbacks, like relentless motors firing on all cylinders. And they've got a name for it, too. Thrash. When I sat with them last week, that word was proudly displayed across the hoodies that they wore. Danielle told me it's part of the D-line. It's our culture. It's a rushing style. And while Will and Danielle's rushing style might be a little bit different, the assignment is the same. Get after the quarterback by any means necessary.
We expect a defensive game here tonight.
We're the engine. We put the team on our back. Whatever we do, it allows the whole team to just function like it.
I think this is the best performance we've had in our team history. I'm proud of our guys for that, to limit the points, to take the football away.
Rodgers, ball's knocked out of his hand.
When you get 2 defensive touchdowns, that's a big deal.
What do you think makes this locker room so special?
The young guys willing to learn. There's veterans in here that are just able to teach to the younger guys, and they're able to just listen. That's one of the hardest things in the league. When young guys come in, act like they know everything, but guys on this team, they actually listen, and they apply what we tell them.
Rodgers, time runs out. Ball is out. It's picked up by the Texans and Sheldon Rankins, and he is in for a touchdown.
You are one of the best, if not the best, edge rushing duos in the league. How much emphasis do you guys put on really disrupting the QB?
I'm learning there's so many ways to affect the quarterback and get off his spots, throwing interceptions, batting balls down, making them uncomfortable in any way possible. I also think that's why we're really great, too, because we have all those attributes to us that we can do other than just getting sacks. You just see so much disruption going on.
What does it mean to you guys to play for Coach Ryans and to play for the city of Houston?
It means a lot. He's played in the league. He knows what it takes. He knows what us as players go through, and he wants the best out of everybody.
Great job, man! Great job! Play the hunt, man! Great job!
He just has that contagious energy and that leadership style to make you want to follow him. I think that's what gives everybody the confidence in him. And we're playing for a head coach who actually believes in me, who wants me to be here, and has established something great here.
What does SWARM stand for? And how is that part of the identity of your locker room?
Swarm is just being excited for your brothers out there when they make plays. You see the whole sideline excited for them. Being able to go out there and make plays for your teammates, your coaches, the city of Houston.
Everybody's so selfless and just wants to see everybody thrive and get as many sacks and tackles for loss and tackles as possible.
This is a defense that they smell blood in the water.
That's our foundation of who we are as a team. Coach Ryans has brought here and what we embody here, and this is who we are, and this is what we're going to continue to be.
So I asked Will and Daniil, if your defense was a car, what part would the D-line be? Daniil said without hesitation, the engine, of course. We put the team on our back. And then Will added, we set the tone. We want to create that energy that the team can thrive and follow us behind as far as this game goes. Well, they're going to have to set that tone early tonight as they are going up against MVP candidate Drake May. Scott.
Michelle, thank you. We have a meeting every week. We talk through what things that might make their way into the show, and some things are maybe better ideas than they actually work on television. Jason, when you tried to explain to us that guy right there, and how his approach was such a pain in the butt, it translates perfectly on tape. What does he bring that no one else does?
Well, those biceps translate perfectly. I'll tell you
Like
that. This dude is built like granite, but he's also extremely awkward. He's long cut, in his legs, he's an awkward mover. We got some plays to showcase from a couple weeks ago. He kind of like hops out of his stance. You get used to a timing at tackle, right? When his inside foot's back, you're used to the inside move happening with a 1-2. But because this first step happens really short, he almost like short legs it, then he's on to his second step. The tackle's timing is off, and he's inside the left tackle, breaks his hip line immediately, and this is not a good sight for Justin Herbert, I'll tell you that. You don't like seeing that right out the gate. And then he also, of course, he has the counters off of this. We call this the Euro step. This is going to look exactly the same for the first 3 steps, but then he does a great job of shortening that edge, getting the tackle to stop his feet, coming up with the jump chop. The jump chop, he's chopping wood, gets the outside hand of the left tackle, and he's around the edge for another sack. Man, this is a bad sight. And then, of course, he has what all great rushers possess, which is an outstanding motor. Here he's fighting through chips. He's going inside. He's winning on an outside spin. As an offensive lineman, you hope guys outside spin. And he's got another sack. Nobody should ever win on an outside spin. And last week, he did it again. He gets a sack fumble on Aaron Rodgers. And he's running, and he wants to get the jump chop move, but the tackle's doing a good job being patient with it. And he's like, he looks like the hunchback of Notre Dame. He's like galloping to the left tackle and ends up hitting a rip move when he opens the gate. It was a tremendous rush last week. He's been one of the best in the game for some time now.
And built like a Greek god. It's a hell of a combination. And Swag, when you look at this team on tape and you look specifically at the D-line where you made your living, is it hyperbole to say what we said about their defensive backs, that this is the best unit in the game?
Yeah, I never thought I'd see a D-lineman look like me. Daniil Hunter looks just like me.
Just like you.
I know I motivated a lot of these guys to have bodies like that. So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. The one thing I always, and RC has heard me say this for a very long time since we've been doing TV together, they work in unison. And when you have 4 individuals as good as they are, I don't want people to forget about Danico Artrey and Tungia and also Rankins. Like those interior guys are a huge part of what this D-line is as well. But these two on the edge, they're not greedy. And a lot of people say, well, what do you mean, Swag? Why aren't they greedy? Because they actually play for each other. Yeah. They understand space. They understand if Will is high, Daniil knows that I need to go low. They're covering for each other. They're retracing when quarterbacks are stepping up in the pocket. And they get so much push from their interior guys, which is why I mentioned them, that now you have 2 speed to power guys that can absolutely tear the edges of an offensive line up. And that's what's going to be interesting tonight, man, because Drake May obviously is a very athletic quarterback. He understands escape routes and where to go, but they play so smart together. At times they can get out of whack, but then the speed and the athleticism comes into play.
Thrash, swarm, aggressive, they come after you. RC, how could the Patriots theoretically use that aggression against the Texans?
I think if you're Josh McDaniels, it goes to being able to dial up big plays, and for Drake May, being able to create second play opportunities. At some point in the first quarter, I have to double move Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley Jr. understands he won't get a ton of opportunities, and if you go back to the game last week, he tried to get an interception and he bit on an inside move by DK Metcalf because he knows he doesn't get a lot of chances. If I'm Drake May, if I'm Josh McDaniels, I try to use that aggression against him early. And then if you're Drake May, we saw it last week versus the Chargers, the big run out of the pocket, being able to break tackles, being able to be elusive and create some of those plays with his legs, not only picking up first downs himself, but giving his receivers second play opportunities.
His eyes get big if he thinks they're coming his way because they don't so often.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting thought. We'll see if the